Check, 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 check. Okay, folks. Doing a quick little sound check here. Had some mixer issues. Can everyone out there hear me? We're starting 10 minutes early. We were just informed that they were going to be starting 10 minutes early tonight here at WBI. This is the CRIM-WCC specialty meet with distance, hosted by Crimson, broadcast by Abreu Media Productions. You see the first heat. Seems like we're still having some audio issues. Check, 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 check. Okay, folks. Doing a quick little sound check here. Had some mixer issues. Can everyone out there hear me? We're starting 10 minutes early. We were just informed that they were going to be starting 10 minutes early tonight here at WBI. This is the CRIM-WCC specialty meet with distance, hosted by Crimson. Seems like we're still having some audio issues. Check, 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 check. Okay, folks. Doing a quick little sound check here. Had some mixer issues. Can everyone out there hear me? We're starting 10 minutes early. We were just informed that they were going to be starting 10 minutes early tonight. Hearing this back. I don't want to hear this. Here at WBI. This is the CRIM-WCC. Specialty meet with distance. Check. Okay, folks. First heat is lined up. Why am I not getting audio? What is going on here? Folks, is anyone hearing audio? If you are hearing audio, can you please jump into the live chat and let me know? I'm trying to troubleshoot audio. I'm trying to switch cameras. A lot of craziness right now. Zayafith in the lead from Crimson in lane 4. She's followed by Holland and Cara Dominici from Solo. Still continuing to work through audio issues. I think if someone is out there, can you please tell me if you can hear me or not? There is a chat window on the screen. Just type in your name and just tell me if you can hear me. I don't know what is going on with my audio. I'm getting conflicting messages. Hope Zayafith continues to be in the lead, but here comes Maggie Holland. So Zayafith in lane 4, Holland in 8. I think you can hear me, and I hope you can. A bit of a tough evening, folks. I'm here by myself, so I'm trying to manage everything the best I can. Zayafith in the lead, followed by Dominici. Holland drops down to 3rd right now. Zayafith looking really strong. Okay, so someone says, I hear you now. Perfect. I don't know who that is, but thank you. Thank you very much for the notification. Hopefully everybody can hear me as we continue to watch Hope Zayafith battle it out with Cara Dominici. Zayafith in 4, Dominici in 5. They are separated by 1/100th of a second. Maggie Holland in 3rd, a second behind. Looks like it was actually Dominici who hit the wall first. Zayafith making up some ground right now. Still 50 to go. Dominici has taken the lead. Shaping up to be a good final finish here as Holland now has moved into 2nd. So Dominici continues to lead the way. Here comes Maggie Holland at the top of your screen. Holland and Dominici, they're stroke for stroke into the wall, and it's going to be Holland who takes it. 4:45.72 for Holland. So that's a 17-second time drop. Nice job by Holland. Dominici comes in 2nd, Zayafith 3rd. Oh, all right. Audio is working. Wow, what a disaster. It always happens when I'm alone. For some reason, as fate would have it, whenever I'm alone, I run into some sort of issue. When I'm not alone, everything works out perfect. So, we're one race in. There's only 2 heats of the girls 400 IM. Once again, I didn't even get a proper introduction tonight. We're live at WPI for the CRIM-WCC specialty meet with distance. This is the opening session for IM, 5 free, and the mile. Stepping up to the blocks is heat number 2. There are your lane assignments. Lanes 1, 9, and 10 are open. Fiona Hughes from Gators in lane 2. Haley Robbins from Crimson in 3. Emma Ferreira from Crimson in 4. Tatum Lombardi from Gators in 5. Sky Lanous from the Tritons in 6. Nico Wienert from Gators in 7. And Kathleen Rossi from Gators in lane 8. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of good feedback that the audio is working. Thank you, Robin. Melissa Hughes, Bill. I appreciate all of you. It definitely gets a little stressful when, oh, and I forgot to change the cameras, so I apologize. Whew. Emma Ferreira from Crimson leading the way, followed by Tatum Lombardi. And it is Tatum Lombardi leading the way, followed by Ferreira, Nico Wienert in 3rd. Looks like Ferreira has moved back into the lead with the strong backstroke. Usually it's the internet issues at WPI. Fortunately, I was able to get the network team here today to help me out, and they got everything set up nice and good, which is spectacular. Huge shout out to all of the network team here at WPI. Stanley Kaiser says the sound is perfect, so that is fantastic and very good to hear. Lombardi has now moved into a commanding lead, almost 5 seconds over Wienert. So Wienert's starting to make her move. She was in 4th after 50, 3rd after 150. Now she's moved up into 2nd. Can almost catch that whole pool with one camera angle this weekend, but not quite. It would be super helpful if I could. And I didn't have to switch cameras, but we're just a little shy of it. Just needed a little bit of a wider angle, but you lose some optics there when we go too wide. And then look who's back in first. So Nico Wienert has come all the way back from 4th to 1st. She overtakes Lombardi. They're 1 and 2 Gators teammates. Emma Ferreira in 3rd right now. Wienert continuing to look strong in lane 7. Came in with a 5:38.25, looking to improve on that. She's built that lead over Lombardi up to a little over 5 seconds. This is a quick event, only 2 heats. This is our second and final heat. Wienert with a fairly commanding lead as she makes her turn for her final 50 up there in lane 7, heading from left to right on your computer. Lombardi 8 seconds behind. Four IM always one of the interesting races. There always a lot of lead changes. We saw it in our opening heat. We saw it today. Wienert started out in fourth, and she will end up in first here as the winner of heat number 2, 50087 for Wienert. It will be Lombardi who takes second. I think what's really messing with me is I can only hear the audio in my right side, my right ear. So I think that's what's giving me some issues right now. But we'll move into event number 2. It's the boys. Your lane assignments will be on the screen. We're going to try something here, folks. Give me 1 second. Did that work? Nope, that did not work. All right, we're back. Heat 1 of the boys in the water. Your lane assignments are on the screen. Andrew Ng in lane 1. Alex Zhang in lane 2. Actually, Alex Zhang is a scratch, so lane 2 is open. Lane 3 is Charles Yu. Lane 4, Ryan Cam. Lane 5, Teddy Sun. Lane 6, Ryan Connors. Lane 7, Brady Cam. Lane 8, Andy Yu. Lane 9, Timmy Sun. Lane 10, Jarrett Sang Thong. Teddy Sun leading the way right now, followed by Ryan Connors. This should be a good one. Both Connors and Sun exceptional butterflyers, as you see. They're battling it out. Had a nice conversation with Teddy's mom prior to the meet. Teddy and Tim's mom, I should say. Both Sun brothers in the opening heat. Here it is. Sun, though, he'll come out of the butterfly with the lead over Connors by 6/10. Ryan Cam in third, Yu in fourth as they transition over to backstroke. Again, if anyone is by any chance here and listening, I could use a hand with pushing some buttons if you're interested. Certainly will provide you some compensation, perhaps some free voucher for the remaining weekend or the next meet. Teddy Sun continues to be in first, a second ahead of Ryan Connors. Cam in third. Thankfully, I will have my wife with me for the next 2 mornings. Tracy Gagnon will be helping tomorrow evening or afternoon, and then Avery Abreu will be stepping up and helping me Sunday p.m. So this is really the only session where I'm solo, but it seems like we have audio figured out. Teddy Sun building that lead up a little bit over Connors, just under 2 seconds now. Cam has moved up into third. As they're into the breaststroke. Teddy Sun has, I don't want to get this wrong, but his mother and I were having a good conversation about colleges and such. I believe she said Teddy's weighted GPA is like a 4.4. So an exceptional swimmer, an exceptional student, the bright future. You're seeing him starting to extend that lead a little bit over Connors. Connors, a good breaststroker, not his number 1 stroke, which is butterfly. He's sticking close to Sun, though. They're 1 and 2 by a pretty good distance. 3:18.08 for Sun. Connors 4.5 seconds behind. They've moved into freestyle. 4 lengths for freestyle. Teddy Sun looks like he has this one pretty firmly in his grips. Connors the same for second. So barring some unforeseen circumstances, you'll see Teddy Sun take first. Ryan Connors take second. They're both in the middle of the pool. Sun in lane 5, Connors in lane 6. As we'll watch Teddy Sun finish up here, 4:16.54 for Sun. So a little off his time coming in of 4:13. Connors goes a 4:23.33, good for a 2-second drop. So it's a great job by Connors there in a solid second place effort. Third place goes to Brady Cam, 4:31.98. That's a 9-second drop for Cam, so nice job by Brady there. Sun, Connors, Cam. Actually, that was Ryan Cam who came in third. It was his brother Brady in fourth. So apologies out there. We got a lot of brothers in this heat. The Cam brothers, the Sun brothers. Ryan Connors is in it. Of course, he has a twin brother, Ben, who was not in this particular heat but is swimming tonight. Move on to heat 2. Only 4 swimmers. Happy birthday, 13th birthday to Fiona Hughes. So she celebrates her 13th birthday swimming in the 4IM a few heats ago. Happy birthday to Fiona from Gators. And here's her brother, Cormac. Cormac Hughes in lane 5 from Gators. So we have Liam Downing in 4, Cormac Hughes in 5, Michael Kiao in 6, Alex Picard in 7. Once again, we're here at WPI. Crimson WCC special team meet with distance. We will have all of the action for you all weekend from the beautiful pool at WPI here in Worcester, Massachusetts. For the Gator families out there, this is the second meet of the season for Gators. First one, of course, a couple weeks ago at Brown University. It was a one-day shootout meet. Michael Kiao continues to lead the way in lane 6. .106.32 at the 100-yard mark as he moves into backstroke. It is the aforementioned Cormac Hughes running in second right now. 5 1/4 seconds behind. Michael Kiao continues to look very strong in lane 6. From Crimson, came in with a 5:13.83. Cormac Hughes in second right now, 7 seconds behind. Kiao continuing to lead the way, followed by Hughes. You see them both in your screen right now, so Kiao has a fairly sizable lead on Hughes, but Hughes has a fairly sizable lead on the next swimmer in third place, who I don't know who it is. I don't have them on the heat sheet, folks, so I apologize for that. Must have been a swimmer that was added. One of the interesting things about the setup here at WPI is they use a different timing system compared to what is used at Brown and what is used at Seekonk High School. They use Daktronics timing systems. Here at WPI, it's Colorado, and because of that, only the times transmit on their own. I have to get a data file uploaded to the graphical system right before the meet that has all of the swimmers' names and such. So if somebody gets added to the meet or thrown into a heat, that does not transmit. So someone is swimming in lane 3, an unidentified young man doing a great job, but it is Michael Kiao from Crimson continuing to lead the way in lane 6. Once again, we appreciate everyone who took the time to join us here tonight and this weekend. We'll be here all weekend, all sessions. Tomorrow morning, I believe, starts at 10 o'clock or 10:30. Meet start is 10:30 tomorrow morning for the 12 and unders. 3:30 p.m. for the 13 and overs. We'll have all of that action for you. Kiao and Hughes will come in 1-2 here. Kiao goes a 4:52.99. That is a big drop. Over 20-second drop for Q. Cormac Hughes goes a 5:02.97. It's a half a second drop for Hughes. So nice swim there by Cormac. Brother of the birthday girl, Fiona Hughes. And in third place, that's Alex Picard from Crimson, 5:12.19. So we'll move into our next event. Moving along here, folks. We could get done early tonight. Girls 500-yard freestyle, 4 heats. There are your lane assignments. So, Stanley, the update on the heat sheet is this. I do not have an electronic version of the heat sheet. I went down to get it. As you know, this is not a Gator-hosted meet. This is a Crimson-hosted meet, so Alan is not working on the table. And the young man who was working the table for WPI could not access his email through that computer down there. So unfortunately, I do not have a heat sheet. And I do not know if I will have a heat sheet at all this weekend. I have a heat sheet in my hand, but I don't know if I'm going to have one online. So just giving everyone a heads up on that. A little bit out of my control. I apologize. I am going to continue to try and figure out a way for them to get me a digital one tomorrow that I can post. But as of right now, I'm flying without a heat sheet. I'll be sure to make sure you know where everyone is. Here we got Claire Neely in lane 1, Addison Abreu in lane 2, Jane Wheeler in 3, Kyla Kelly in 4. Lane 5 is open. It's Hazel Muhaideen in 6, Vivian Molson in 7, Cara Dominici in lane 8, Courtney Bogosian in 9, and Sarah Ripucci in lane 10. So there's your lane assignments for the girls 500 free. It's event number 3. We're going to see that I am in on quite a few different meets this year that aren't hosted by Gators. When Alan is on the scorers table, he's very used to, what I need and does a great job making sure I have all of the proper information and such. So we'll work on that for tomorrow, Stanley, but I'll keep you posted so you don't miss anything. Charlotte will be coming up in heat number 3 in lane 7, Stanley. So heat 3, lane 7, that's where Charlotte will be. We're in heat 1 right now. This is the girls 500 free. A little bit of a separation here. You have your top 3 swimmers who are Muhaideen, Molson, and Wheeler. And then your next 2 swimmers, Abreu and Bogosian. So they're traveling in bunches here. Muhaydin leading the way. Wheeler 6/10 behind. Molson 9/10. Abreu 4.5 behind. Bogosian 5.25 behind. Saw that the Scholastic All-American team was announced across the country, and I did see that Hazel Muhaydin, who's leading the way here, was on the team. Very impressive for Muhaydin as a 15-year-old. So congratulations to her. William McClellan from Gators was also part of that Scholastic All-American team. Muhaydin, though, clearly leading the way here at the 350-yard mark by 2 3/4 seconds over Wheeler. Molson in third. I think it's Addison Abreu still in fourth, and it is. But Hazel Muhaydin way out in front as far as distance is concerned. Over 2 seconds over Wheeler, her Crimson teammate. Let's see if Wheeler can mount the comeback. Molson also in the mix in lane 7. But all Crimson all the time here. 1, 2, 3, Muhaydin, Wheeler, Molson. They're leading the way in the 500 free. It's our opening heat of the girls' 500 free. Event 3. There will be 3 heats. There's the bell for Muhaydin. So she has blasted through this thing. She came in with a 4:58.78, one of only 2 swimmers under the 5-minute mark. The other being Veronica Kosova, who is scratched. So really it's just Muhaydin looking to improve on that time. Let's see if she does. And it is Muhaydin, 4:57.27. Wheeler takes second, 4:59.93. And Crimson rounds out the top 3 with Vivian Molson, 5:03.70. It looks like Abreu will take fourth, 5:12.77 for Abreu. Neely takes 5th, Rapucci 6th, Bogosian 7th, Kelly in 8th. So we'll move on to heat number 2. In the water, Cindy Ben in lane 1, Olivia Landers in 2, Brooke Carline in 3, Amelia Gallant in 4, Nora Abdalel in 5, Eliana Lamb in 6. It's Julia Pelchat in 7, Amelia Hukkinen in 8, Maddie Boder in 9, and Ali Wu in lane number 10. Julia Pelchat leading the way in lane 7. She's joined by Cindy Ben down at the bottom of your screen in lane 1. So Pelchat and Ben out early. Pelchat came in with a 5:31.39. Ben a 5:49.19. So they'll most likely improve on those times here. Ben has now moved into first. Pelchat second, Abdalel third. Cindy Ben at the bottom of your screen. 14 years old from Crimson. Came in with a 5:49.19. Your top 3 remain Ben, Pelchat, and Abdalel. All looking strong very early on. Julia Pelchat, the senior at Bishop Feion High School. She'll attend and swim at Providence College next year. Speaking of Pelchat, she has now moved back into first. 206.89 for Pelchat. Ben and Abdelal less than a second behind. So our top three swimmers separated by basically 9/10 of a second. Very close out in the field here. We're on heat 2 of 4. Event 3, girls 500-yard freestyle, live from WPI in Worcester, Massachusetts. Exactly at the halfway mark, and it remains Julia Pelchat from Gators leading the way, 240.74. Ben in second, Abdelal in third. Pretty light crowd here at WPI tonight. Pelchat continuing to lead, but here comes Abdelal. So Noor Abdelal has moved into second, 0.2 of a second behind Pelchat. Cindy Ben drops down into third, a second and a quarter behind. So keep an eye on that battle in lanes 5 and 7 between Pelchat and Abdelal. Abdelal, the 14-year-old from Crimson, came in with the top time in this heat, 5:21.49. So she has some pretty good closing speed on the back end. Pelchat continues to look strong and is your leader at the 350-yard mark. Abdelal 7/10 behind. Ben has dropped down to 2.5 seconds behind. Here comes Eliana Lamb. Almost 3 seconds behind, but she's made up some ground. She was in 6th place after 100. She's now moved into 4th. Pelchat continues to look strong in lane 7. Pelchat, Abdelal, Lamb. Eliana Lamb has now moved up into 3rd. So Pelchat remains your leader. Abdelal remains in 2nd. Pelchat, not necessarily known as a distance swimmer, is a very fast sprinter. Massachusetts 50 free state champion. But she's looking really strong here tonight. I think she'll be happy with this performance. Pelchat leading the way, followed by Abdelal and Lamb. Pelchat's race to lose here. Abdelal still in 2nd, almost a full body length behind Pelchat. And it will be Pelchat from Gators taking it, 5:27.90. Abdelal takes 2nd, Lamb 3rd. For Pelchat, that 5:27 represents a 3.5 second time drop. So nice job by Julia Pelchat, your Heat 2 winner. We'll move on to Heat number 3. Madeline Esposito will be in lane 1. Hadley D'Agostino in 2. Emma Richards in 3. Margaret Stoddard in 4. Una Bleckman in 5. Libby Davidson in 6. Charlotte Kaiser in lane 7. Georgia Davis in lane 8. And rounding out the field in lane number 9 will be Maria Alves. Nobody in lane 10. Lane 10 will be open here for Heat 3 of 4. Off and running on Heat number 3. One more heat of the girls.
Madeline Esposito, lane 2, Hadley D'Agostino, lane 3, Emma Richards, in lane 4, Margaret Stoddard, in lane 5, Una Bleckman, in lane 6, Libby Davidson, in lane 7, Charlotte Kaiser, in lane 8, Georgia Davis,
So it's D'Agostino remaining in first, Esposito in second, Bleckman in third right now. D'Agostino in lane 2 at the bottom of your screen from Crimson. 13 years old, came in with a 6:06.27. Bleckman running in second right now from Solo, Davidson third. So actually it's a tie with Maria Alves for third. Beautiful fall October day here in New England. I'd have to say it was seasonably mild today. I just got back last night from a work trip to Nashville, Tennessee from Monday to Thursday, and the overnight lows in Tennessee this week were in the mid to high 30s. Downright cold. So it was nice to be able to put the shorts and t-shirt back on today. Here in sunny Worcester, Massachusetts. Hagley D'Agostino continues to lead the way. Let's see what her lead actually is, and it's almost 5 seconds over Esposito. Bleckman in third, 5 1/4 behind. D'Agostino continues to lead the way here. Back in the action here at WPI. Hadley D'Agostino will get the bell in lane number 2. She's really led this thing from start to finish. She went out in a 102. Her first 100, she's never looked back. So Hadley D'Agostino from Crimson in lane 2. Right now, it's Maria Alves in lane number 9 from Crimson in second. As they all make the turn and come for home, and it will be D'Agostino taking it 5:41, 28.68. Great time for D'Agostino. Over 22nd time drop for Hadley. It is Maria Alves taking second. Third place was Georgia Davis up there in lane 8. So again, another strong showing by these Crimson distance swimmers. They go 1, 2, 3 as we move into our fourth and final heat on the girls' side. Nev Flynn in lane 4, Taylor Dewar in 5, Safia Abdel Nur in lane 6. So just 3 swimmers here, 4, 5, and 6. Abdel Nur from the Tritons, Dewar and Flynn from Crimson. Definitely an interesting night at WPI because of the lack of fans. It's about 15, maybe 16 fans in the stands here tonight at WPI. I know the distance sessions are always a little lighter than any of the other sessions. Seems like they're really light tonight. Taylor Dewar leading the way, 33-28. All 3 swimmers, as you can tell, right there with each other. No real separation by anyone just yet. Nev Flynn in lane 4, Taylor Dewar in 5, Safia Abdel Nur in lane 6. That long silence you heard was me talking to Teddy Sun from the Tritons. Very nice young man. Always comes up to the broadcast booth. He's friends with my daughter Addison, so always comes up to say hello. Teddy had a nice 4 IM here earlier this evening. Like I mentioned when he was swimming, very smart and gifted student, very smart and gifted swimmer as well. This continues to be a very tight battle. Taylor Dewar has moved into first ever so slightly ahead of her teammate Flynn by a half a second. Abdel Nur about 2.5 seconds behind. For the NFL fans out there, big trade yesterday. Christian McCaffrey last night under the cover of darkness going from the terrible Carolina Panthers to a Super Bowl contender over on the West Coast with Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. So for those of you football fans and fantasy football fans, some pretty big implications there. Dewar, Flynn, Abdel Nur. 1, 2, and 3. We're approaching the 250-yard mark, and no one has separated themselves yet. And Dewar almost missed the wall on that flip turn, so I don't know if you noticed that there, but she began her flip turn a little bit early, barely grazed the wall. Fortunately, she did make contact with the wall. Of course, if you don't, that would have been a DQ if it was noticed. She's not going to miss the wall there. She's built that lead up to a 2.25 seconds over Flynn and Abdel Nur. But really no big separation thus far. Taylor Dewar continues to lead. 12 years old, so one of our younger swimmers along with Abdel Nur, who is 11. Nev Flynn is 14. So the 12-year-old Dewar comes in with the top time, 6:32.50. And it's something to keep an eye on those turns. Dewar just did it again. She's starting those turns just a little early and barely touching the wall. Let's see how she makes out down at this end. Here's the turn. And had a good turn there. Good push off the wall. She remains in the lead. Can only imagine how tiring it must be at this point. 350 yards soon to be in. Two-second lead for Dewar. Now it's over Abdul Nur, who has moved into second. Flynn drops down into third. So at the 400-yard mark, now Dewar has started to build up that lead. Almost 4 seconds over Abdel Nur, who was in a battle herself with Nev Flynn from Crimson. But this one should belong to Taylor Dewar. Strong back half here by Dewar. The bell ringer's getting a little ahead of himself, but here it is. Here's the bell for Taylor Dewar. You can hear that bell loud and clear on the broadcast. Abdel Nur is in second, Flynn third, 5 and 6 seconds back respectively. But this one will be taken by Taylor Dewar. 12 years old from Crimson, came in with a 6:32.50. She's going to drop some significant time here. Let's see what the official results are, and it is Taylor Dewar, 6:18.58. 14-second time drop. Great job by Taylor. Abdul Nur in second, Flynn in third. As we move into event 4. Now we're on the boys' side with the 500 freestyle. This is heat number 1. There are your lane assignments. We'll go through them. Kian Grabar in lane 1, Cale Copeland in 2, it's Ryan Kornacki in 3, Nick Kavik in 4, Matvey Malinovsky in 5, Henry Campbell in 6, Keith Hartman in 7, William Molson in 8, Ben Connors in 9, and Peter Moo in lane 10. Kavik and Malinovsky in a tight battle here, middle of your screen, very early on, separated by 4/10. Top 6 swimmers, a second and a half apart from each other, so very, very tight. It is Malinovsky from Crimson, though, looking like he's got the slight edge over Kavik. It's early. Very, very early here. Malinovsky, 17 years old from Crimson. Kavik, 15 years old from Gators. They're your top 2. Henry Campbell in 3rd, followed by Cale Copeland. Hartman in 5th. So I've noticed also this mixer that I'm using, I had to go to a backup mixer. The processing is very sensitive. Can you all hear? So can you hear the PA announcer over my mic, or is it fading in and out? Something a little weird about this mixer. When I don't talk, I feel like the volume level goes down and it kind of kills the sound, and then when I talk, it picks it up again. Definitely not what I'm used to. So I do have a backup at home. I'll bring tomorrow. We'll see how that works out. Malinowski in first. It's Henry Campbell who has moved up to second. Copeland has moved into third. Kavik has dropped down into fourth. That being said, he's only a little over 3 seconds off the pace right now set by Malinowski, but he is your leader in lane 5. I believe it was Keith Hartman in 5th, so those were your top 5, but it is Malinowski. Who leads the way. Campbell second, Copeland third, Kavik fourth, Hartman in 5th. Malinowski continuing to look strong alongside his Crimson teammate Henry Campbell. They are 1 and 2. Cale Copeland looking strong as well in third. Kavik in fourth. I believe it's Hartman still in 5th that he is. So top 5 swimmers, 9 seconds apart. Seems like a lot. It really isn't in a distance event. However, 150 yards to go. Malinowski and Campbell, safe to say, will finish 1 and 2 here, barring some unforeseen circumstances. Probably the only thing that could slow these two guys down right now is some cramping, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Malinowski continues to hammer away. Will Campbell make the comeback? Just about 50 yards to go. There's the bell for Malinowski and Campbell and Copeland. So can Campbell catch Malinowski? I don't think so. Matvey looking exceptionally strong here in lane 5. Came in with a 4:40.75. And he will finish it out here with a 4:48.62. Campbell will take second, 4:51.34, and it will be Copeland who takes third. Out of lane 2, 4:57.05. Kavik will take fourth. Hartman 5th. Just almost made the full comeback on Kavik. 7/10 separate those two Gators. There are your lane assignments for Heat 2. Krishna Balasubramanian in lane 1. Etherman Ackerman Valala in lane 2. William Athanas in 3. It's William McClellan in 4. Quinn Burns in 5. Ali Lehman in 6. Henry Chiesa in 7. Jonah Nathanson in lane 8. It's Hector Nieto in lane 9. And Peter Root rounds out the field in lane 10. No surprise here. William McClellan leading the way. From Gators, I mentioned earlier he was named to the Scholastic All-American team earlier this week, by USA Swimming. He'll be attending Dartmouth College in the fall. So we're moving pretty quickly through the program. Event 4, this is Heat 2 of 3. Although we do have about an hour of the mile. So we're moving right along until we get to the mile, and then it does not move along fast at all, as William McClellan is your leader, followed by Jonah Nathanson and William Athanas. McClellan, Athanas. Athanas is a little over 3 1/4 seconds behind. But it is McClellan leading the way. One of four brothers who are all at Barrington High School in Barrington, Rhode Island at the same time. William the senior, Alex the junior, Ben the sophomore, Henry the freshman, and they have a little sister, Victoria, so it's 5 for the McClellans. William's mom and dad both went to Brown University. Audrey, a swimmer. She's in the Rhode Island Swimming Hall of Fame. Their father, Matt, football player at Brown University. Alex, who I mentioned, the junior at Barrington High School, is the quarterback. So it's big athletic and academic family. McClellan leading the way, looking strong here in our second heat of the boys 500 freestyle. McClellan continues to power through. It's got that lead. Let's see the time here. Almost 5 seconds. So McClellan really starting to stretch it out there at the 350-yard mark. So again, we appreciate everyone who took the time to join us here tonight and who will join us this weekend at abrewmediaproductions.com. So I don't know if McClellan tweaked something on that last 25. And I think he did. Not a flip turn on his last turn. He looks to be laboring a little bit, so maybe a pulled muscle or a cramp for McClellan. So we'll have to keep an eye. There he goes back to the flip turn there. But he's definitely laboring a little bit here. Hopefully everything's all right. Was firmly in command through that 350-yard mark. Then he had a really long breath in the middle of the pool. Looked like he was stretching out his lat maybe. So Jonah Nathanson has now moved into first with William Athanas in second. There's the finish, and it is Nathanson. 5:11.26 for Nathanson. It's a 15-second time drop. Athanas second, Burns third. So we hope everything. McClellan did finish. He ended up coming in fifth, which just goes to show you the lead that he had built up because he really slowed it down there the last 150 yards or so. So we'll move on to heat number 3. There are your lane assignments. It's all crimson all the time here. Lane 1 and 10 are open. All crimson swimmers. Theodore Chiesa in 2. Kuno Lowton in 3. Noah Wilt in 4. Max Grisanti in 5. Jonathan Lee in 6. Mason Dindinger in 7. Dane Connor in 8. And it's James Esposito in lane number 9. Once again, lanes 1 and 10 are open, the bookend lanes. Lane 1 at the bottom of your screen. Lane 10 at the top of your screen. Grisanti leading the way in lane 5, followed by Lowton and Connor. Max Grisanti continues to lead the way in lane 5. Came in with a 5:42.56. He's 15 years old. Once again, all of these swimmers from Crimson. So it's an all Crimson heat. Grisanti, Lowton, and Connor, your top 3. Grisanti and Lowton pretty close, a second and a half apart. Connor about 6 seconds off. Grisanti going from right to left on your screen right now. Middle of the pool, lane 5. This is our final heat of the boys 500. After this, we'll move into 3 heats of the mile. 1 on the girl side, 2 on the boy side to conclude our night. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 10:30. Grisanti continues to hold the lead. Grisanti continues to be your leader here at the 300-yard mark. Followed by his teammate Lowton, and I say his teammate, they're all his teammates, nothing but Crimson swimmers in the pool here. This final heat of the boys 500. Grisanti continues to be the leader here. It's followed by Lowton, almost 6 seconds behind. So Grisanti really opening up that lead at the 350-yard mark. 150 yards to go. Grisanti should take this one, barring an unforeseen circumstance. And, you know, obviously, unforeseen circumstances happen. We saw McClelland in the last heat. At the 350-yard mark, he had about a 6-second lead. Appeared to tweak some sort of muscle or maybe get a little cramp there. But Grisanti remains the leader in lane 5, going from right to left right now. There's the bell for Grisanti. So Max Grisanti from Crimson will take our final heat of the boys 500. We'll get a time for Grisanti, and he goes 5:28.36. It's a 14-second time drop. Great performance there by Grisanti. Who will take second? And it will be Lowton, 5:42.78. So that's almost a full 30 seconds or a 30-second time drop for Lowton. Great swim there. Crimson having a good showing here tonight. It is Jonathan Lee who will take third as we move into event 5. This is the girls' mile. So, folks, I'll be completely honest with you. I'm not going to change the camera every single time here for the leader. I think in camera position 1, we get a pretty wide shot of most of the pool, so we're probably going to stay on camera 1 for most of the mile here. I'll probably switch back and forth for the first few lengths, but then, of course, there will be swimmers that start to separate, and that way everybody will get to see everybody there without us following the lead swimmers. Ella Bouvier in lane 1, Morgan Bullen in 2, Aubrey Harrington in 3, Allie Brenner in 4, Peyton Knightley in 5, Claire Mosher in 6, Caden McKibben in 7, Val Williams in lane 8, and Sophie Ziomek in lane 9. This is our one heat of the girls' mile tonight. Claire Mosher out in front, leading the way early. She's followed by Knightley and Brenner. If there was ever a race where you would say it's a marathon, not a sprint, well, this is it. This is the ultimate distance event here in swimming, the mile. There probably will be a lot of lead changes. Here, we're going to keep it on camera 1, probably for most of the rest of this race here, unless something really changes early. Our leaders are positioned in lanes 1, 2, and lanes 6, 5, and 7. So we can basically see that whole pool. Even for the for lanes 1 and 2, you can only just miss a little portion of that. So we're going to keep it on this wide shot here with Claire Mosher leading the way. So just to level set and set the stage for this weekend, folks, in case you are unaware, let's get the logistics out of the way. Tomorrow morning is the 12 and under session. Warm-ups begin. Actually, I don't know. This is from Gators, so the Gator warm-up is at 10 o'clock. The meet starts at 10:30. For the 13 and over, tomorrow the meet starts at 3:30. Then as we look ahead into Sunday, a bit of an earlier start Sunday, 8:30 Sunday morning, we'll kick it off. And for the 13 and overs, 1 p.m. We should be over Sunday afternoon before 5 o'clock. So 4:45 is the official we should be done time. We'll see how that goes. That doesn't always go as planned. Claire Mosher continues to be in the lead. She's in lane 6 from solo. If you notice, though, Peyton Knightley is right behind her. Peyton Knightley is not ceding anything to Mosher. 0.7 of a second separate those two. Mosher continues to be in the lead. I think I just found a setting that I like. My voice was being heavily processed earlier. I don't know, folks. Does this sound different? For those of you who are listening and paying attention and that remain on the stream, because, of course, in the distance, as kids finish their swims, people drop off. But if you can hear me, do I sound different than I did earlier? This is one of those fancy mixers. And when I say fancy, I do not mean expensive. Just all sorts of crazy features. But it had heavy audio processing on my voice. So I could hear it in my ears, and it sounded weird, but I didn't know how to fix it. I think I may have just figured it out. I think I sound a little more natural now. Perhaps. Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows, folks? Who knows? All I do know is Claire Mosher continues to be in the lead. A half a second ahead of Peyton Knightley. Mosher from Solo, Knightley from Crimson Aquatics. Mosher and Knightley remain your leaders. Middle of your screen going from right to left, soon to be left to right. 1 second separates them. It is Mosher. Caden McKibben running in third right now. Again, this is the 1650. We're at 550, so third of the way through. Certainly is a battle of attrition here with the mile. Pretty soon, our Boston Celtics will kick it off versus the Miami Heat. Tonight, Celtics look good. Their opening night home victory over the Philadelphia 76ers. Had a little bit of a tough first quarter, and I was getting a little nervous. But it was all Celtics the rest of the way, looking really strong, cementing that case as the favorite to win the NBA title this year, along with Golden State, who defeated them last year in the finals. Depending on where you go, one or the other is the favorite. Mosher and Knightley 5/100ths of a second apart here, folks, at the 650-yard mark. So you can see they're going from left to right in the middle of your screen. They are stroke for stroke. So this is quite the battle. And do we have a lead change here for the first time? Mosher remains in first, 8/100ths ahead of Knightley. So for all intents and purposes, they're tied, but they're really not. Mosher is holding on to that lead. She has not given up or relinquished that lead at all. She's led from the opening 25. Nice, even pace for Mosher. Same with Knightley. Mosher has opened up that lead to a whopping 10th of a second, 12/100ths to be exact, at the 750-yard mark. So not quite at the halfway mark yet, just about now, and it is Mosher still remaining in the lead. Three-tenths over Knightley right now. So Mosher slightly expanding that lead. That's a big lead, folks. What? 3/10 usually is not a big lead in this race with these two talented distance swimmers. That is a big lead. Mosher trying to extend that lead ever so slightly. Let's see what it is here. It's the same thing, 33 100ths of a second. So they have kept the exact pace up for that 50 that just happened. We're closing in on the 900-yard mark. Mosher continues to have the lead. I say she's stretching it. She's up to 0.6 of a second. Over Peyton Knightley, who is swimming just as impressively in lane 5. Excuse me, Knightley. So, Knightley. So, see, folks, this is apologies to Peyton Knightley here. Peyton Knightley has been actually leading this race since the 600-yard mark. I was looking at the screen and I had them right, but when I was looking out into the pool, I had it confused. So Knightley remains your leader. Mosher from Solo running in second. So Peyton Knightley, 16 years old from Crimson, came in with a 17:40.55. Knightley continues to be your leader in lane 5. Closing in on that 1150-yard mark. 500 to go. Think about that. 500 still to go. Peyton Knightley leads Claire Mosher by a second and a half. In our one and only heat of the girls' mile tonight, there'll be 2 heats of the boys, and then we'll be done for the evening. And while we continue to watch Knightley, I'm going to pull up that Scholastic All-American list. Because I know we have quite a few of them here tonight. Let's see if I can get this by New England. I'll work to find that. USA Scholastic All-American Swim in New England. All right, so here is the New England 2021-22 Scholastic All-America team. We'll check in here. It is Peyton Knightley remaining your leader with 400 yards to go, so she looks pretty comfortable here. Malia Amwan from Phoenix Swimming, Timothy Andrews from Ryak, Alexia Avakov from Phoenix Swimming, Sarah Bernard from Commonwealth, Anna Bamer from Solo, Zach Bubanovich from Crimson, John Butera from Gators, Quinn Caputo also from Gator, Michaela Shokareva from Phoenix, Mitch Doobie from Bluefish, Zuri Ferguson from Bluefish, Shay First from Phoenix, Catherine Hanley from Commonwealth, Sydney Kang from Solo, Dana Lee from Commonwealth, Natalie Mannion from Commonwealth, Jack Marin from Bluefish, a pair of Gators, William McClellan and Sonia Mlakar, Hazel Muhaideen from Crimson, we mentioned her earlier, 15 years old, William Mulgrew from Crimson, Josh Parent from Bluefish, Megan Reish from Phoenix, Isabella Schneider from Phoenix, and Ella Smith from Bluefish. So some of these swimmers not around anymore, have moved on to the college ranks. Dana Lee swimming for Brown University, Malia Amwan swimming for the University of Michigan. I believe Megan Reish is at Minnesota. So there are your Scholastic All-Americans. To make that team, you have to carry a minimum 3.5 GPA and meet any of the competition criteria during the period. So quite an accomplishment for those swimmers, those New England swimmers. So congratulations to them. Peyton Knightley remains in first. Claire Mosher in second. As you can see, Knightley has built up that lead quite a bit here as she closes in on the bell at the next go-round. Knightley will come in for the 1,500-yard mark, 150 yards to go for Peyton Knightley. Great swim by her and Mosher here this evening at WPI. Opening night of the Crimson WCC specialty meet with distance. Will be back tomorrow morning at 10:30. So a 10:30 start. We will go live at 10:15. Folks, I would make sure that you're probably on at 10:15. They did start 10 minutes earlier tonight, just out of the blue. So with no warning, they did start 10 minutes early tonight. I don't know if they'll do the same tomorrow morning, but they very well could. You don't want to miss any of that action. Peyton Knightley continues to cruise in lane 5. Knightley makes her final turn, and it's been a great swim for Peyton Knightley here in the mile. She came in with a 17:40.55. She won't break that time tonight, but she will finish up in an 18:37.50. Good for first. It will be Claire Mosher who takes second. Mosher with a soft touch on the wall. So we don't have a time for Mosher, but she did come in second, and Allie Brenner third. So Knightley first, Mosher second, Brenner third. Those orders of finishes are not correct on the board because Mosher had a soft touch. And we'll go into our final two races of the evening. Next race will be event number 6. The boys 1650 freestyle. There will only be 2 heats. We'll have your lane assignments on the screen, but to give you a sneak peek of that, Ali Lehman will be in lane 1, Holden Brown in lane 2. Ben Shayer in lane 3, Carrick Shea in 4, Tyler Bosma in 5, Patrick O'Connor in 6, Breakin Shea in lane 7, Pierce Broush in lane 8, Matthew Smith in lane 9, and Charles Yu is in lane number 10. Our final 2 events of the evening. WPI hosting quite a few athletic events here tomorrow. One thing they're not hosting is swim. Their swim team will travel just down the street to Holy Cross. WPI will take on Holy Cross in a dual meet tomorrow. I think it's a dual meet. I don't know if it's more than WPI and Holy Cross, but I know it is definitely those 2 teams.
Heat 2. For Heat 1 of the men's, in lane 1, Ollie Lemon, lane 2, Alden Brown, lane 3, Ben Sher, lane 4, Carrick Shea, in lane 6, Patrick O'Connor, lane 7, Breakin Shea, in lane 8, Pierce Brosh, and in lane 9, Matthew Smith, and 10, Charles Wu.
Matthew Smith leading the way in lane number 9 at the top of your screen. It's followed by Breakin Shea. Again, this is a heat that is predominantly made up of Crimson swimmers. Lane 5 is open. Ali Lehman from Solo in lane 1. Charles Yu from the Tritons in lane 10. But other than that, it is all Crimson Aquatics. Matthew Smith leading the way, followed by Pierce Broush and Breakin Shea in lane 7. This is our second to last heat of the evening. This is the boys' opening heat of the mile. I thought potentially they could combine the final two heats, but I don't think so because there are 6 swimmers. 6 swimmers in the final heat of the evening. Tyler Bosma is the scratch in lane 5. He had the top time coming in. 17-year-old from Solo. He was a 16:31.34. So with that time, Bosma was almost 1 full minute faster than the next fastest swimmer, who is Patrick O'Connor at 17:21.69. So it is O'Connor in lane 6. Second fastest time coming in, Matthew Smith from Crimson. 15 years old, leading the way, came in with an 18:20. Once again, we're at WPI in Worcester, Massachusetts for the Crimson WCC specialty meet with distance. This is the opening night distance session. We're at the very tail end of that. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Meet start time is 10:30. We'll be live at about 10:15, bringing you all of the action on the 12 and unders. Then we'll move into the 13 and overs in the afternoon. We'll follow that same format on Sunday, although we will be starting at 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. Sunday looks to finish before 5 o'clock, so nice fairly early end. Everybody can still get home and maybe enjoy the last fleeting moments of the weekend before we kick the grind off all over again with the work week on Monday. Smith continues to lead the way here. Just a second over Patrick O'Connor. Smith in lane 9 at the top of your screen. Patrick O'Connor in lane 6. You see Breakin Shea right there with him. Pierce Broush right there. Smith leads O'Connor by a little under 2 seconds. A little over 2 seconds over Shea, Broush, and you 3 and 4 seconds behind, respectively. Smith continues to lead the way. Matthew Smith from Crimson is followed by his teammate Patrick O'Connor and their teammate Pierce Broush. Those are your top 3. Breakin Shea, also Crimson, in 4th right now. Smith, O'Connor, and Broush. Holden Brown has now moved up into 4th. O'Connor narrowing that gap, 0.6 of a second behind. We're at the 850-yard mark. So O'Connor came in with the fastest time. It was Smith out early. Now O'Connor making up some ground here in our, what do they call this? The penultimate heat of the evening? I think that's the second to last. I'm probably wrong with that. Probably means last. Let me look that one up. As a 46-year-old educated person, I should know that, but I don't. Penul. Oh, and look at that, folks. I was actually, I got to give myself a little bit of credit. I was actually right. Second to last. So this would be the penultimate heat of the mile. Matthew Smith still leads O'Connor by a half a second. Holden Brown starting to make up some space. He's 3 1/4 seconds behind. Pierce Broush has dropped down into fourth, or has stayed in fourth. Breakin Shea drops down to 6th. Charles Yu has moved up to 5th. The Smith lead over O'Connor is still 5/10, so a half a second. Smith in lane 9, O'Connor in lane 6. And as you can see, they're almost stroke for stroke here, going from right to left. Big change at the top of the leaderboard here. Patrick O'Connor has moved into first. Not only moved in, but he's built up a 2.5 second lead over Smith. So Patrick O'Connor making his move in lane 6. He came in with the top time. You can never count anyone out of the mile. A lot of these swimmers are either first half or back half swimmers. O'Connor really starting to put it on in the back half here. He was in second place for most of the race. It was at the 1,100-yard mark where he moved into first and overtook Smith. Now Smith is battling it out with Pierce Broush for second. O'Connor, your leader. Smith remains in second. Broush in third. 350 yards to go in our second to last race of the evening here at WPI. We're happy you can join us, and let's get a bigger crowd for tomorrow morning. Those 12 and under sessions typically bring some of our biggest crowds to the broadcast, so we're happy to bring you an entertaining broadcast tomorrow. Happy that we were able to figure out all of our technical issues earlier on. You know what happens, folks, is I haven't broadcasted from here. And, this is shame on me. I need to start writing down all the little nuances of the places that I broadcast. But I haven't been at WPI since I believe it was February. So all of the meets since WPI were held at Brown. So the Brown setup I'm pretty locked and loaded with. The WPI setup here is a little bit different. You got to do a few things different, hooking up your computer and software, and had a couple things done. I don't know what happened to the audio. I don't know why the mixer wasn't working, but we got this mixer working, so we're good to go for tomorrow. Happy you could join us. Patrick O'Connor remains in the lead by almost 5 seconds over Matthew Smith. Pierce Broush in third. Patrick O'Connor closing in on 15:50. 16:23:40 for O'Connor. Came in 17:21:69. He's 19 years old from Crimson. Matthew Smith in second, Broush in third, Holden Brown in fourth. That's your top four. There's the bell for O'Connor. Connor finishes up in first. Smith second. It's Holden Brown moving up into third. Pierce Broush dropped down to fourth. So nice comeback there by Holden Brown. It squeezed into the top three. For O'Connor, 17:27:71. Little off his time coming in, but on a meet where there's no taper, nobody's suited up, it's early season, that's a great swim for O'Connor. And here we go, folks. We'll move into our final event of the evening. Your lane assignments will be on the screen shortly. Once again, it is all Crimson all the time. Duke Garvin in lane 3, Owen Shandaria in lane 4, Lucas Miller in 5, George Lamb in lane 6, Luke Abramson in 7, and Naman Mack is in lane number 8. We're underway. We should be done here in about 19 minutes. Seems to be the average time for this group of swimmers. Top time coming in belongs to Lucas Miller. He's sub-19, 18:53.86. Naman Mack, the only 14-year-old, the youngest swimmer in this heat. Luke Abramson at 17, the oldest swimmer. Once again, these are all Crimson swimmers here this evening in our final heat. We'll be back live on the air tomorrow morning at 10:15. The meet start time is actually 10:30. I would suggest for everyone that's listening, and pass this along to all of your peers, teammate peers, they started 10 minutes earlier today. There's a very distinct possibility they could do that tomorrow as well. So if they do, I don't want you to miss any of the action. So we'll be live at 10:15. And we hope you can join us. Duke Garvin from Crimson in lane 3, leading the way early, very early here. Garvin continues to lead the way. He's in lane 3 at the bottom of your screen. He's followed by Lucas Miller and Luke Abramson. They're your top 3 very early on here in our final event of the evening here at WPI. Beautiful Worcester, Massachusetts. Home of the Worcester Woo Sox. It pains me to say that. Growing up in Pawtucket and spending a large part of my youth at McCoy Stadium in Pawtucket, both as a fan, an employee, and then in high school, we would play at McCoy Stadium pretty often. The Rhode Island State Baseball Championships, of course, were held at McCoy Stadium until probably 3 years ago when they just basically let the stadium fall into neglect. Really a shame what has happened to that beautiful ballpark. Over on Columbus Ave in Pawtucket, the Rhode Island State Baseball Championships now are held at Rhode Island College. But here we are, the Woo Sox, beautiful stadium that was built for them here in Worcester. I don't have anything bad to say about that, but it's tough for a lifelong Pawtucket Red Sox fan to be okay with what happened. But as they say, Rhode Island is the littlest or the smallest state in the union and the most corrupt. Always a political controversy in Rhode Island, folks. Duke Garvin continues to lead the way here. Miller in second, Abramson third. Garvin looking very well here in this final heat. He came in with a 1953-76, 15 years old from Crimson. Garvin's in lane 3, swimming from right to left on your screen right now. Powerful long strokes there by Garvin. 5:16.45 at the 500-yard mark. Garvin continues to lead the way. Duke Garvin looking strong from Crimson. Garvin continues to lead the way effortlessly out of lane 3 at the bottom of your screen. Second place, you got to go up to lane 7 to see second place. That's Luke Abramson, 12 seconds behind. Lucas Miller, 17 behind in lane 5. So Garvin has this lead pretty comfortable at the 750-yard mark. When I say it's a skeleton crew here at WPI, it's a skeleton crew, probably 4 people in the stands at this point. Most of the swimmers embarking on their way home, maybe already home for those who swam earlier in the 4 IM. We're about 10 minutes from making that same trek south for those of you who are staying in the Worcester area this weekend. I usually like to give out restaurant, I say that 5 times fast, restaurant recommendations. I won't be going there tonight, but I'm going to try and get there this weekend. The Flying Rhino. So I believe it's on Shrewsbury Street. Fantastic. For lunch, for dinner, either way. Great spot. There's some others, too. I got to remember the place that we went last time was very, very fantastic as well. Duke Garvin continues to chew up and spit out these yards. He's at the 900 and closing in on the 950-yard mark. Garvin continues his stronghold on the lead in lane 3. He's approaching the 1,100-yard mark. So 500 to go for Garvin. Garvin leading the way. Abramson in second. Miller in third. As we round out our evening, 8:52 left in the first half. Celtics lead the Heat down in Miami 38-30. Derek White leading all Celtics scorers with 10. Jaylen Brown 9, Jason Tatum 7. Bam Adebayo pacing the Heat with 8 points here in the first half, so that should be a good game. For those of you finishing up on the swim meet, you can tune in, watch the Celtics and Miami Heat. Always a good battle. Duke Garvin not really needing to battle at all. He's been in command in this final heat of the mile at WPI tonight. He's hit the 1,300-yard mark. 350 yards to go for Garvin. Finishing out his evening. And I was wrong. I said there were 4 people in the stands. There's 3. There's 3 folks left in the stands. Garvin continues to pound it through here in our final event of the night. Not to look ahead, but our next event or our next broadcast for Brew Media Productions will be, I'll have to get you that date, but it will be at Seekonk High School. I believe it's the second week of November. I'll actually get you that date right now. November 11th through the 13th, we'll be back at Seekonk High School, so I don't know what teams will be participating, but Gators will be there, Gators North and Gators South. We will not, however, be broadcasting the December 9th Crimson Trials Finals meet at MIT, so that's a meet that Gators is participating in. We will not be broadcasting that meet. We'll be back for seniors December 15th at Brown, so that should be a good one. Hope to have a bit of an extended production there, maybe an extra camera or two to grab all the action. Should be an exciting one. Seniors, short course seniors, always very exciting. Duke Garvin, less than 150 yards away. Here's the bell for Garvin, I believe, or maybe not. Garvin's still got 100 to go, not 50. I'm thinking long course here. So it's been a good swim for all of these Crimson swimmers. Luke Abramson is in second. Lucas Miller is in third. George Lamb fourth. Owen Shandaria fifth. And Naman Mack in sixth. There's the bell for Duke Garvin. And it seems like Garvin has found another gear here, as you typically do when you hear that bell. Again, Garvin came in with a 19:53.76. He is going to drop over 2.5 minutes, folks. Garvin goes a 17:15.07, so great job by Duke Garvin. 100 left for Abramson and Miller as well. So Duke Garvin, your winner of the final event of the evening. Nice job by Garvin there. Over 2.5 minute time drop. Luke Abramson in lane 7 will touch for second, 17:55.72. Lucas Miller in lane 5 will take third. And here comes Lamb, Shandaria, and Mack